latest White Pod. I'm Stephen Blaine, your host with White Labs, e-commerce internet marketing agency. Today, our guest is Cortlan. Cortlan,
Yeah, how's it
tell
going?
our viewers, tell our viewers, get to know you a little bit better. Please share a little bit of your background.
Yeah, I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah, just north of a town called Bountiful. And my background, I actually used to be a professional cyclist. That's where
Wow.
I was before. And then I've been in sales. I've worked for, I was a lender for a while. I worked as an account manager on a lending company before I kind of got into some of the e-commerce stuff that we're doing.
All right, that sounds great. So what e-commerce stuff are you doing?
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, so I run a website, a company called Electric Import Motors. We import mini electric vehicles from China, and we ship them out and sell them all over the U.S. Basically, they're uh, a golf cart that's been modified to look more like a car. They have AC, backup cameras, radios or stereo, excuse me, Bluetooth speakers in them. So it's like lots of bells and whistles that you aren't going to get on a standard golf cart. And we saw that it's something you can buy online from China. I mean, honestly, anyone could go do this, go buy one of these. But we saw the need in the sense of it's a pain in the freaking butt to get them here.
Yep.
It's really hard. And my partner in the business, his name's Caleb Nilsson. He has a background in logistics and shipping, and so that's his background, and we kind of got together on it. And speaking of background, it's funny. We actually started as an e-commerce print on demand website doing t-shirts. We started a
Awesome.
company called Resto Gear, and it was a subscription car t-shirt company. And the whole idea was that we would, we just were car guys and we wanted this cool kind of, whatever. So we figured out the print on demand side of things. And I think we sold like 10 t-shirts. So it has not gone awesome, but it evolved into us importing and selling actual vehicles. And we've been doing that for about 3 years now.
Awesome. I mean, I've seen some of these. So like these are like street legal, right? You can make them street legal.
Yeah, so they're what's considered a low speed vehicle. So in most, at least here in the US, they're legal in almost every state, but it comes down to
Okay.
like the county level on what is legal or not legal. So we always recommend, checking with your county.
Check your
But
laws.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
top speed on them's 20 to 25 miles an hour. They're not super fast vehicles, but man, they're so fun around the neighborhood. Getting into your just around even going into town. We have people use them as like grocery store getters. That's oftentimes what we'll refer to them as. And
For
yeah, I
sure. I
mean,
mean, you have like
try
trucks
driving this.
down here. Yeah. Right. They're like
Yeah,
mini
there's
trucks too,
trucks.
right?
Our trucks have dumping beds. We've had a college put sirens on them and turn them onto their campus security vehicles.
It's awesome.
Some of them, we have a utility truck that's got this flatbed that's actually really, really utilitarian. I mean, I've had people who own like these big properties with Airbnbs that are using them. And so it's kind of this unique niche that's, hey, it's way cheaper than if you were to go get a side by side. It's way cheaper than buying a regular truck. And it's actually pretty functional. And then on top of that, this thing sticks out more than any vehicle you've ever driven. We've taken it to car shows, had it parked next to Lamborghinis and Porsches, and we're getting more people coming over and checking out our vehicle than they are. So
And it's almost like you guys are almost in the price point of a high end go like a golf cart as well. So like it's I mean
I
some
would
of them are even I see that you I mean I see the niche you guys are in. I like it.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I would say we're cheaper than a golf cart. I mean, most
I agree. I agree because
base price
I've been
golf
looking at
carts.
golf carts. I've been looking at I live in
Yeah,
a neighborhood.
you said you're in Florida, so
Yeah, I mean I live in everyone has a golf cart in my neighborhood, so of course I'm always looking at golf carts. I'm like these golf carts are 15 grand that are all souped
yeah,
up that everyone has, and this might be more functional.
yeah, and the fact you can close the cabin, I think, is a big thing for a lot of people. They're just fun. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
bottom
for
line. I always
sure.
tell people, we had a guy ride with us, and he said to me, he said it's smiles per mile, and I'm like, I freaking love that. Like, it's so much fun.
Right.
Your kid, like my kids, they freaking love driving around in it. So
For
yeah, it's just
sure.
honestly, it started as a side gig. Like we wanted them ourselves, and it was a fun project, and we just we've just grown it from there. So
Awesome. I like it. So, who do you feel is your target audience?
man, honestly, I feel like we probably sell to like that retired, almost retired group more than anyone.
Yeah.
We're based out of Salt Lake City, but I sell more to Florida, Arizona, and Texas than anywhere. probably. Um, but it's funny though, because people, I mean, at 3 years in, you think I'd have this like defined group of who's buying these, and I really don't yet. I mean, I would say that majority is probably that retirement age. They got extra money to kind of dump into things. But like I
Yeah.
said, I've sold tons of college campuses, and that's something that we're trying to get more to. We have a lot of these people that, just don't want to buy a regular car and they live in a small town. And so it's kind of unique, a unique product in that way that it really appeals to a lot of people. But because of the price point, I think it's still 10 grand or 5 grand even on our lower end stuff. So, I mean, it's still a chunk of money that it's not like the guy who's going to go buy a t-shirt at the snap of a finger is going to pick one of these up.
Makes sense. I gotcha. So, I know you have competitors. What makes you different than anybody else?
Sure. I think honestly, we're super transparent. And the hard part is competitors could be anyone. Like I said, you could go pick these up from China too.
From China,
We
yeah, yeah.
really we really try to just take the ease out of all of it. I mean, we want to just bring it in and then get it to your door, and you just have to hop on the site and order the thing. Um, so I think that makes us different. The other thing is, uh, we care about people. I mean, we don't. The cool part. It's interesting because we're kind of an intermediary. We're bringing these in. We're an importer, so we're not the manufacturer. We don't have warranties on these things. But if you get your vehicle and you're having issues, we want to help you. We want to, I think that's a big part of it too. And so I think that's it. And then the other part is visibility. We've been able to really use social media. We've had some fun YouTube collaborations with Whistle and
For sure.
Diesel, the
Yeah.
Diesel Brothers, Grind Hard Plumbing, a few of these kind of bigger YouTubers that they take these and they love them, and we've been able to kind of get the visibility there. So that's been fun and been a fun part of, I think, setting us apart from some of our competitors.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's awesome. I've been looking at them since you've been talking. This morning I was looking at everything. It's very cool. So yeah, what's your number one product? What's your number one seller?
Yeah, it's a tie, honestly. I think we're like within a few vehicles. We have a vehicle called the Grunt or the Tank. It's the car. So the car, and one of the difficult parts about China is they update these models really fast. It's not like a Civic where you have like one body style that stays the same for a handful of years.
Huh?
We go through them real quick. But so the car model is probably our top seller. It's the best price point as well. It's a two-door. It'll seat 4 people. And then right behind that, or really close, would be what we call the Pack Yak Pro, which is just like a small truck. It's got 2 seats in it, and it's got a dumping bed. So that bed will dump a couple thousand pounds of stuff out of it. So pretty fun, I think, for people.
Definitely, I think so. I mean, it's cool. So what activities are you doing to promote your products, yourself, the business?
Yeah, we've been very lucky, and we kind of hit this at an early point where, as far as marketing goes, the only money we've spent is giving a couple vehicles away. We have not done any online marketing. It's just been purely social media, YouTube driven.
Oh,
And it's been awesome. But at this point, we're looking more into some of the e-com or some of the, excuse me, the online marketing ads, Google ads. We're not there yet. We haven't pulled the trigger on any of it. And right now, I mean, it's organic. We like to talk with people like yourself, get on podcasts. We like to do anything we can that gets us in front of a new audience, and do it as organically as possible. And then the other thing is we've done some locally. We've done, like I said earlier, we've done some car shows. We were the hole-in-one
hmm,
prize at a pretty big golf tournament here in Utah. So stuff like that's been
nice.
really fun because we can actually get out. We're an e-commerce brand, but we're in front of people as well.
100%. You're still in front of people. Yeah, 100%. That's great. So what's your future plan what's your future plan?
Yeah, future plan. Honestly, it's getting more eyes on these. I think eventually we'd like to be in other markets. We're in Utah, and one of our I would say one of our a hard sell for us is we got a guy like yourself in Florida who wants to buy one of these and has never seen one. This is a
Yep.
big purchase to not actually see one in person. So I think, potentially we want to have some affiliate partners who are probably already selling golf carts or vehicles, and that's one way we want to grow. And the other way is we've started selling in Canada. We want to sell it to Mexico. We get lots of requests from Canada and Mexico. I mean, honestly, it's crazy. I have people from Africa and Europe reaching out almost daily as well. And so it's trying to just get into some other markets would be an interesting thing that we haven't quite tackled yet.
Awesome. Awesome. So what are some of the, as an entrepreneur and with e-commerce here, what are some challenges that you faced that you've been able to overcome in the last few years?
Manufacturing to a product delivered is tough. It's not, you don't
Yeah.
always get what you want. That's a hard side of it. And the bigger the product, kind of the bigger the consequences if
Yeah.
something's not right. But I think we've gotten that down a lot better. It's not perfect, but we've streamlined that process really well. And I come from a background where I would say I am not a computer minded person. For me and my partner, this is something that we've had to learn a lot of this on the fly. And I think a hurdle is we don't know what we don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what the benefits of some, there's terms in technology and in e-commerce world that unless you're in it or you're smarter than me at least, it's you don't know what you don't know. And so I think that a hurdle has been opportunities that we may have missed or things that we could have not done that would have saved us as well, right? So kind of that
Hmm.
unknown is definitely I think it's every entrepreneur's journey of like, hey, where should I spend the money? Where shouldn't I spend the money? And just kind of navigating that whole charade.
I totally get it. Well, final question. What have I not asked you about electric import motors yourself that you want our audience to know?
Uh I think I don't know that it's advice or whatever. As far as electric import motors, I think we've kind of covered it. Go check it out. I'd say that for any of your watchers, viewers right now who are wondering what is this, just look it up because it is super fun. Even if you're not interested in getting one, go watch some of the YouTube videos we've done. I think you'll end up laughing. You'll have a smile on your face. Like we love when people get excited about our product, even if they have no intention of getting it. Tell your friends, show your friends. The YouTube videos are actually hilarious. We've let our YouTubers just go kind of carte blanche, do whatever they want, and some of the stuff they've come up with, it's just been awesome. And on side of that, I'd say, hey, if you're in something, if you're in e-commerce or want to start a brand, I mean, the reason that I got here is literally I'm an ideas guy. I always have a lot of ideas, and I kind of was never doing any of them. Just start. That's the cool thing about e-commerce. I mean, we started a print-on-demand t-shirt store, which literally, I mean, you can do it for virtually nothing. Maybe $100 and you can start a brand.
Wow. Yeah.
And you can do it so cheaply. And I think that, we worry so much about being perfect and we worry about, hey, I got to have all my ducks in a row. And I think it's about just jumping in. And as someone who's trying, and I would say I'm trying because every day there are hurdles. I think for an entrepreneur, someone who has any inkling to want to do it, jumping in will get you way further than any studying or research is going to do. And you're probably going to fail, right? I've failed at 3 t-shirt brands, so I think I'm done with t-shirts. but
Well, you have
but it's
t-shirts
gotten me.
now, Smiles per mile.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, you can still get a t-shirt for sure. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think the point is like it's so funny that we started in t-shirts and now we sell cars. Like what a weird route to get to. But but it's been fun and we've learned all along the way. So
Definitely. Well, and I appreciate you coming on and thank you for your time.
yeah, no, thank you so much. Appreciate it.